Good evening, Tallahassee. I'm student meteorologist AJ Willie.
And I'm student meteorologist Jennifer Collins. We've got a full show for you tonight. 30 minutes of weather update here on FSU Weather.
Yeah, it actually turned out to be a nice day today after a cold morning. It was brisk out there this morning.
The low in Tallahassee I think was around 21 degrees. So woke up, had to put a sweater on immediately after getting out of bed.
Yeah, definitely. When I walked out to my car this morning, I had some frost on my windows and my doors. I had to pull out the old scraper this morning. You're not used to that in Florida.
Were you making a little snowman out of the snow? The frost you were getting?
Yeah, I thought about it, but it was a little late to my 8 a.m. this morning.
Yeah, we had some interesting weather throughout this entire week. We had some almost winter precipitation happening in the middle of the week.
We were a little bit excited earlier in the week. Thought that Tuesday would give us a good chance of that winter weather. Ended up just getting rain.
Yes.
Happy it warmed up towards the end of the week.
Yeah, some portions of Florida actually saw snow. Portions in Pensacola and even southern Georgia.
Yeah.
Some more viewing areas.
Indeed. We should be seeing some warmer weather though as the weekend progresses into next week. Maybe even see some severe weather next week. Got a system out there in the west that's forming, so definitely keeping an eye on that.
And for right now, we actually have a weather overview with Dylan out on the wall. He's going to give us a segment showing us what the TV show is going to be about.
I'm just going to overview what's going to come in the show today, but let's start off with our high temperatures today, much warmer than they were yesterday. We're up to 60 today. We were at 51 yesterday, so it's much better than it was. That's due to all the sun that's coming in and really heating us up throughout the afternoon. So as we continue into tomorrow, we're going to see some more of a warm up with that cloud cover not being there drastically, but we do see some cloud cover picking up, but all you see are these high 50s and low 60s throughout the region. So it's definitely much better than it was with all that cold weather. Here's our upper level water vapor, and you can see this green over here. That's indicating a system, and this system is going to start to make its way towards us but fizzle out by the time it gets to us. But it is going to increase some water vapor for our area coming into the next couple of days and increase our cloud cover for that. Going into tonight, though, we're going to see 31 degrees, much warmer than it was last night and the night before. That's due to this cloud cover, and with radiational cooling, this cloud cover is trapping the heat in, keeping it much warmer than it was. But it is one more cold night before it all clears out for the next days. And later in the show, we're going to highlight different things. It's going to finally thaw out. It's going to leave for a warm weekend, and we're going to have some showers next week. So you're going to put away your winter coat and pull out your raincoat just in time for some rain, maybe some rain boots instead of winter boots. But we're also going to have a lab talking about Shane Pendleton, a alum from FSU Weather, flash freezing with the snow weather that we had this past week. But now we're going to send it over to the lab with Sydney for trivia.
Thanks, Dylan. So we asked a question yesterday on twitter.com/FSU Weather, and you guys voted, and I am here with the answer to that question. So what the question was is, which of these conditions are associated with a high pressure system? So the options are clear skies, light winds, dry air, or all of the above. And I would like to give a little hint before telling this answer. We are currently in a high pressure dominated situation. So does that help you guys with the answer to this? The answer is all of the above. So you guys, 62% of you guys out there voted for the correct answer, and it is. We are currently seeing those clear skies, light winds, and those dew points are lower than I have ever seen before. So with that, we are actually going to take it back out to a local look with our good friend Jennifer.
Yes, thank you, Sydney. As we take a look at current conditions here in Tallahassee, that high pressure system like you were talking about, it's dominating our area. We have 58 degrees. It's our current condition right now in Tallahassee with partly cloudy skies. And that dew point, take a look, 10-degree dew point, which means our humidity is at 15%. So it definitely feels very, very dry when you step outside. You might want some chapstick if you're heading out for tonight and going into tomorrow. As you take a look at the low temperatures for today, though, we actually saw temperatures dipping down to about 21 degrees this morning here in Tallahassee. A little bit warmer as we get along the coast, 27 degrees in Apalachicola and also 23 degrees in Quincy, but it definitely got very, very cold last night because of this high pressure system. We had clear skies and it just made the temperatures dip down into these low 20s. And as we take a look at the dew points right now, because of this high pressure system, and it's just keeping the dew points low, 10 degrees here in Tallahassee, 33 as we get along the coast in Carabel, 30 in Apalachicola, so a little bit higher as we get along the coast. But here in Tallahassee, it's very, very dry. You might head outside and your hair might be a little bit staticky if you're heading outdoors. Rainfall going into next week, we'll see a 70% chance of rainfall later on in the week, about a 50% for much of the East Coast. But definitely our area, we could see a little bit of severe weather, but not really, but definitely a lot of rainfall as we head into next week. Tonight's forecast, expect temperatures to dip down near freezing temperatures, 31 degrees here in Tallahassee. We'll definitely keep the colder nights here for tonight, but as we get into the weekend, these temperatures will start to lift back up. Before tonight, we'll definitely see calm winds. We'll just keep the temperatures dipping down with these clear skies. Tomorrow's forecast, we're going to warm up because of these partly cloudy skies. 63 degrees is our high for tomorrow afternoon. We're definitely going to keep it fairly comfortable, though. It'll be a great day to head outside for any outdoor activities with a few passing clouds and that northwest wind at 5 miles per hour. So we'll just be fairly comfortable and warm. And as we take a look at the week ahead, Saturday and Sunday, we'll keep the temperatures fairly decent, 63 degrees for Saturday, 70 degrees for Sunday. We'll keep those clouds away. Temperatures increasing a little bit as we get into Sunday, 38 degrees. But as we get into the work week ahead, 30% chance of rain for Monday. That temperature 72 degrees. Tuesday is our big rain day. Mainly AM rain, mainly morning rain showers. 67 degrees for there. That low around 50 degrees when you wake up that time of the day. But Wednesday, about 20% chance of rain. Take a look at that low. We're going to dip down again going into Wednesday. 65 degrees is your high for that day too. 30% rain chance for Thursday as well. That high around 63 degrees. But as we get into Friday, those temperatures will start to increase a little bit. 66 degrees with that low around 44 degrees as I pass things off to AJ with a look at the southeast.
Thank you, Jennifer. Yeah, let's zoom out a little bit and look at what's going on in the southeast. Currently, we are still sitting right at a moderate 58 degrees in Tallahassee. Clear skies out there just like we've had all day. It's been an absolute beautiful day out here and in much of the southeast. Orlando sitting right at 62. Miami and Key West a little warmer down there by the coast. Wilmington a little cooler up there at 49, and our low spot over here at Tupelo at 44. They are a little bit cooler because they do not have the high pressure system that we do over here in Tallahassee, which is keeping our temperatures warmer throughout the day. Let's look at our 24-hour temperature change. Everybody around the region saw warmer temperatures than they did 24 hours ago. Tallahassee, 10 degrees warmer than it was yesterday at this time. Wilmington, 14 degrees warmer than it was at this time. I can't imagine anybody complaining about these warmer temperatures. I'm certainly not complaining. It was pretty brutal out there this morning and earlier in the week. Hattiesburg and New Orleans also saw 15 degrees and 13 degrees warmer today than it was at this time yesterday. Even our low spot on this map, Little Rock, still 6 degrees warmer than it was at this time yesterday. Nothing to be complaining about out there today. Current winds. Look at these winds. We don't have much of anything going on in the region. That is due to the high pressure system that is dominating our area, keeping those winds low, keeping our wind chill pretty much non-existent. Wilmington, pretty much our high spot over here at 8 degrees. Shreveport, also pretty high over here at 9 degrees. But this map is pretty much just showing that there's nothing going on out there with the winds, and we can thank this high pressure system that is around our region for that. Satellite and radar, much of the same. Not much going around the Tallahassee region. This explains those clear skies today. It was a beautiful day out here. We've got some moisture down there in the peninsula, though, down around Orlando and Miami area. And we've also got a little system over here that's bringing some rain into the Gulf. That is in front of Winter Storm Jackson that is succeeded by a low front. And that is what's causing those rains off the coast. We don't expect those to amount into much for the Tallahassee region. But down around New Orleans and the southern part of Louisiana, they could be seeing some rain showers here in the next day or two. Current dew points. These dew points are keeping it relatively dry out there. Tallahassee at 10, Miami still in that comfortable range at 51. They are our high spot on this map. 24-hour dew point change. Don't see much in our region, but more as we get down into Key West and upping Wilmington there. Tonight's forecast. Cold temps remain, but they will warm up throughout the weekend. And tomorrow should be another beautiful day in Tallahassee and much of the southeast region. Now I'm going to send things over to Dylan in the lab.
Yeah, thanks so much, AJ. We're going to take a look at some weather phenomenon that usually happens around wintertime. This is a viral weather phenomenon. People go out when it's very cold outside to do this cool thing. And if this looks familiar, this is some flash freezing water. And people will throw pots of boiling water in the air, and it freezes instantly and creates powder. So what I alluded to earlier was Shane Pendleton, actually one of FSU's FSU Weather's former team leaders and alum, did this in Huntsville, Alabama with this front that came through a couple days ago, and you can watch him throw this pot. Actually, he's not using water in this video, he's using tea, and the reasoning for that is that you need something for the water to condense on. There is some water in tea, that's how tea is made, and essentially he takes the pot of boiling tea and throws it up into the air, and the reason it's not freezing in the pot is due to the fact that there's not a lot of surface area while the tea sits in the pot. So you have a thin plane on top of the pot with the tea, and that can freeze, but below it, it's harder for it to freeze. So when he throws the pot into the air, the tea spreads out, and water condenses onto the tea particles, the water vapor associated with the tea. And a lot of people like to do this. It's a very cool and fascinating thing. You wouldn't essentially think of this when you'd see some very cold temps. And actually in this video, it is negative 7 degrees Fahrenheit, and it feels like temperature is probably much, much colder than that with that wind. But it's a very cool experiment you can do yourself, even when it's cold in your area, but we're not going to see some cold temperatures for us here in Tallahassee. But now I'm actually going to send it back to AJ with a look at the national.
Thank you, Dylan. Currently, nationally, we actually are warmer than we have been used to for much of the winter season so far. Tallahassee sitting at 58, Boston up above the freezing point at 34, Detroit also 33. Bet they aren't complaining about those when they've been used to being around 0 for about the past month or so. Denver sitting over there at 64, Salt Lake City at 45, and Billings up here at 35. Those lower temperatures out in the northwest are due to a low pressure system that is moving through that will be producing some potential snowfall for those out west that could potentially end up impacting the entire country. 24-hour temperature change throughout the country. Atlanta, 14 degrees warmer than it was yesterday. That is a theme of this map from the Great Plains on to the East Coast. Much of the nation getting warmer. Charleston, 10 degrees warmer than it was yesterday at this time. Detroit, 8 degrees warmer. As we move out west, though, those temperatures have actually decreased since yesterday. Salt Lake City, 3 degrees colder than it was yesterday. Billings, 10 degrees colder than it was yesterday. And that is due to the low pressure system that has moved through their area and is producing some snowfall out there for them actually right now. Let's look at this radar out here. This is that low pressure system that I was talking about that is producing some snowfall and some rain showers out there to the west. And down here in the Gulf, we also have a little bit of moisture that is ahead of that low pressure system that is producing some rain off the coast, but could potentially affect some of the southeastern Texas and Louisiana. Let's zoom in on that out there in the west. Look over here in Idaho. They are getting some snow as we speak. Much of Nevada and Utah as well getting some snow. We have a little bit of rain that's actually ahead of this system, potentially producing some icy conditions, which can't say anybody is a fan of the all icy conditions, but this low pressure system will be moving through much of the country, potentially bringing some snow to the East Coast as well later in the week. Watches and warnings. We've got some winter weather advisories, some winter storm watches, some winter storm warnings, all sorts of winter storm related activity going on over there in the West Coast, Salt Lake City, Denver. I can't imagine that any of the snowboarders or skiers out there are complaining about this. Should be some good snow for the ski resorts out there. Tonight's forecast. Much of the nation is actually going to be warmer than it has for about honestly, the past 2 months or so. Washington, D.C., 33, getting above freezing. Boston still at 29, but compared to 0, that is making progress. Tallahassee still going to be low tonight, down around 28. That is due to the high pressure system that is not being able to trap the clouds down there. Tomorrow's forecast, 58 in Memphis, 56 in Kansas City. Much of the East Coast and Great Plains are going to be seeing some beautiful weather out there, much clear skies. And as I was speaking about earlier, we are expecting some snow and some colder temperatures and precipitation out there in the West Coast. Now I'm going to set things off to Sydney for our local.
Thank you. So we are going to zoom back in on that tri-state area, and with this we aren't seeing any of the winter weather that he was just speaking of on the West Coast that is there to stay for the next few days, and it will be making its way over to us eventually. But as for right now, all we should worry about is this high pressure system that's bringing us the beautiful sunshine in this tri-state area. So Tallahassee right now seeing 58 degrees and low 50s for Dothan, Alabama, and Albany, Georgia as well. Into the satellite, this does illustrate very beautifully that high pressure system and almost the cap that does not have any clouds or precip to be seen on this satellite. So this does illustrate the high pressure system, clear skies, and beautiful conditions, bringing those temperatures up even more. Now look at these dew points. Tallahassee 10-degree dew point. I think this is the lowest I've ever seen Tallahassee have their dew point. So if you are going to be going outside, don't forget to stay hydrated and bring lotion as well, because your hands definitely could be getting chapped going out into this these dry conditions. Albany, Georgia, a little bit higher dew point at 21 degrees, but that's still extremely dry and extremely low. As for Montgomery and Dothan, Dothan seeing 7 degrees and Montgomery 12, so dry for the entire region. Now, if you are going to be going for a walk tomorrow with this beautiful weather to come, there is going to be an FSU faculty art an art show in the FSU Faculty Art Exhibition. Now, there is going to be a lot of different variety within the artwork that's going to be going on there, and the temperature is going to be beautiful, so it's a good opportunity to get out of your dorm or your apartment and go for a walk on campus if you do like seeing artwork. Now, into tonight, temperatures are going to be low, slightly above freezing, 1 degree above freezing for places like St. Mark's and Monticello. Tallahassee 1 degree below freezing. So watch out for those roads in case some ice could potentially form since it is below freezing. I would be careful, and calm winds and clear skies. So the clear skies are the reason for this cold night, letting all of that radiation from our day out into the atmosphere and letting it escape. Now into tomorrow, the clouds are also going to be helping us heat back up as the sun comes back in, and the radiation really does get absorbed by our area. Tallahassee seeing 63, St. Mark's 62, and the entire region sitting there at the low 60s. Now take a look at this week ahead. Saturday and Sunday, those lows are going to be in the 30s still, and not many clouds in the sky, just few clouds. As for Monday, clouds coming back and those rain chances are there, and that low temperature is up at 49. So for the rest of the week, we are going to be seeing those lingering rain chances and also some cloud cover into next Friday. Now we're going to take it over to the desk with AJ and Dylan.
Thank you very much, Sydney. We're going to transition into some severe thunderstorms that are possible coming ahead of this front.
Yeah, it has been 2 months since we have had any severe weather in the area or in even much of the United States.
Well, in the entire United States. It's lucky for us that we've seen this spell of non-severe weather, but we're starting to transition back into it, and something to be aware of ahead of this front and into the spring season.
Yeah, Sunday evening, much of Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, Tennessee, they are at risk of seeing some severe weather.
Yeah, the highest threat there is winds. Rain's not a big factor, but it's the winds associated with these thunderstorms. But as we transition to Monday, it moves farther east.
Yeah, and that's as we move into Monday is when it could start to potentially affect our region. So
Yeah.
we'll have to keep an eye on that.
Yeah, definitely. It's staying west of us, luckily. It has the potential to move east, but nothing to worry about that much, and winds are the factor with that as well. Staying in the panhandle is the biggest threat for Florida.
Yeah, and the active season for severe weather really doesn't start until the spring, so this could potentially be moving into that region.
Yeah, definitely. But now we're going to actually take it around Florida with Jennifer.
Thanks, Dylan and AJ. As we take a look at current conditions across Florida, we're definitely seeing temperatures ranging in the 60s, and also some low spots about 50 near Pensacola. They're seeing clear skies, sunny skies right now as we head into the night hours. The temperature's starting to dip throughout Florida. 62 degrees for Orlando, 61 degrees for Tampa, and 64 degrees for Key West. So we're definitely seeing a little bit cooler temperatures as we're heading into the night hours. The satellite radar is showing a little bit of cloud cover as we head into South Florida. Parts of West Palm Beach and Fort Myers are seeing a little bit more clouds. But portions of Tallahassee and the Big Bend region, we're definitely going to see that clear skies, and the temperatures will start to dip for tonight because of these clear skies and that high pressure system that's over our area. As we take a look at the water vapor, we'll definitely see the moisture along the South Florida as that cloud cover is still there. But because of the high pressure system over the Big Bend region in Tallahassee, we're keeping clear skies, and that water vapor is just basically non-existent. We're keeping things fairly dry for our area with those dew points. Here in Tallahassee, about 10 degrees, so it's definitely feeling very, very dry when you head outside. Current winds, we're definitely seeing this clockwise rotation because of this high pressure system. Portions like West Palm Beach are seeing winds coming out of the east at northeast around east at around 9 miles per hour. Portions of Miami about 7 miles per hour there too. Fort Myers straight out of the east, 6 degrees. Our only weird spot is 8 miles per hour out of the northwest for Tampa. But for here in Tallahassee and Jacksonville, we're keeping things fairly calm with with very calm winds for our areas. Watches and warnings for tonight. We definitely have a some cool frost advisories for portions of North Florida, so things will definitely cool down for these areas. We don't really have anything here in Tallahassee that we need to worry about, but North Florida, it's definitely going to get a bit cooler for those areas, so they have watches and warnings out for those areas. Tonight's forecast across Florida: 46 degrees for Orlando, 55 degrees for West Palm Beach, a little bit warmer as we get more towards South Florida, 58 degrees for Miami, and 61 degrees for Key West. Tallahassee seeing those temperatures, we're going to see temperatures around 28 degrees. Pensacola a little bit warmer, 36 degrees there for tonight, but things will definitely cool down because of these clear skies. Tomorrow's forecast, expect portions like Jacksonville to be 65 degrees. But as we get more south, like I said, things are going to heat up a little bit more. 70 degrees for Orlando and 73 degrees for West Palm Beach and Miami. But going into Sunday's forecast, we'll see temperatures starting to increase a little bit to 73 degrees for Orlando, 78 degrees for Miami. As I pass things off to Dylan with our final local.
Yeah, thank you. We're going to transition back into more of a local look, and you can see our temperatures are relatively nice for this time, only seeing 58 degrees here in Tallahassee and throughout the region. You're seeing very comfortable temperatures for this time, much warmer than we saw yesterday due to that sun beating down and warming things up here for us. The past 24 hours, though, we were below average on our low for most of the last night. You see, we got at 43 degrees at 7 p.m. around when the time the show ended yesterday, dropped all the way down to 22 at 7 a.m. and then we went back up the ladder up to 60 degrees for today, and we're going to see a similar pattern for tomorrow. We're going to get down into the 30s and then rise back up into the 60s by the afternoon. But we're really below average for most of the night. Going into our current winds, not a lot of winds. With this high pressure sitting on top of us, we're going to see some light winds, which really allows us to try to cool for tonight for radiational cooling. But what's going to stop that, though, is this cloud cover that's moving in with the system. And that cloud cover is going to keep the warm air inside and warm up our low temperature for tonight. Here's next week, though. We're going to set up the situation. This is Sunday. We have that high pressure still sitting over us and this low pressure system dragging a front down across Texas. That's going to start moving to our area by Monday, and we're going to see some rain chances then pass through. But behind that front, a secondary front will form, start making its way into our area by Wednesday and Thursday, and we're going to see those rain chances definitely pick up for then. Into our 7-day forecast, into tonight's forecast, though, we're going to see around freezing temperatures for us here in Tallahassee, though warmer than we saw yesterday. But still remember the 4 Ps, the plants, peps, pipes, and people are the 4 things you want to take care of in these cool nights. And into tomorrow, we're going to see warm, around the same temperatures, though. It's not really going to heat up as much as we did today because this cloud cover not allowing the sun to penetrate. These clouds are not going to be low-lying clouds. They're going to be upper-level clouds. With that disturbance moving eastward from the Gulf, nothing to worry about, though. We're not going to see any rain from that, but we are going to see some rain from the front. Into the weekend, though, you're going to see Saturday and Sunday, nice days. We're going to warm back up to 70 degrees. And then into Monday, we're going to see 72 degrees, finally breaking through that 70 barrier, seeing 30% chance of rain with that first front coming through. And those chances of rain are going to stick around to the morning of Tuesday. And behind that front, you saw that secondary front bring 20 and 30% chance rains on Wednesday and Thursday. So make sure you have your raincoat, put away your winter coat. But temperatures are then going to also cool down with that. So bring back out your winter coat. You're going to see 63 degrees is the high on Thursday. But our lows are not getting as low as we saw with this front that passed through. But now I'm actually going to send it back to the desk with Sydney and Jennifer to close up the show and just wrap things up for us here.
Thank you, Dylan. And yeah, the rain chances are going to start increasing a little bit as we get into the
but you can't complain because Tallahassee is seeing a little bit of a drought, and a lot of North Florida is, and those warmer temperatures.
Yeah, we'll definitely see the rain chances start to increase, so we'll have a little bit more, little less dry conditions.
Yeah, I can't really deal with these dry conditions, the spontaneous headaches and my hands being dry all the time. I'm just putting lotion on 24/7. I'm counting down until those rain chances are coming back, to be honest.
This is the time of year where my hair looks pretty good.
Well, you can barely see mine. but yeah, this is the same with me because the moisture doesn't really do much for the hair, but I like that in between when it's not too dry but not the happy medium, which hopefully we'll be seeing into next week.
Yeah,
so.
As temperatures start to increase a little bit.
Yeah.
Take away those winter coats like Dylan was talking about.
I did get confused though, so should I have my raincoat out or should I have my winter coat out?
I think you should just like hang both of them just in case we need them.
Have them both sitting right by the door. So yeah, that's definitely the plan that what we will be seeing, because okay, so we pull the raincoat out on Monday
yes.
because that 30% chance of rain could pop up on us during any time throughout Monday. 49 degrees for that low, so 72 degrees for the high. That looks like a nice day if you ask me.
Yeah, but I'm talking about bringing the winter coats back in. We're probably going to bring them back in probably around Wednesday with that low of 39 degrees.
Yeah, but if you need to know which coat to wear, don't forget to follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/FSU weather.
And you can also like us on Facebook, facebook.com/FSU weather.
And we are streaming live on YouTube as we speak, youtube.com/FSU weather/live.
And you can also follow us on Instagram at FSU weather. You can also tag us in all of your photos. We love photos.
Yeah, we love photos, and we'd love to see what jacket you're wearing what day of the week. So tag us in your Twitter photos. And for now, I'm student meteorologist Sydney Welch.
And I'm student meteorologist Jennifer Collins.
Have a great night.
Have a great night.